Thanks for tuning in to this week's news recap. First headline, Bitcoin price breaks new records. Bitcoin has spent the week reaching new all-time highs, breaking through $20,000 and $21,000 on Wednesday, and then breaking through $22,000 and $23,000 on Thursday. Bitcoin options daily trading also surpassed $1 billion for the first time on Thursday. As the price of Bitcoin surges, Guggenheim Investments Global Chief Investment Officer Scott Minerd said on Bloomberg TV that he believes the fair value of the cryptocurrency is far from being achieved, pointing to, quote, rampant money printing and Bitcoin's scarcity as reasons to think the price could eventually reach $400,000. Meanwhile, UK-based Ruffer Investment confirmed that it had accumulated $744 million in Bitcoin in what it is calling a hedge against, quote, some of the risks that we see in a fragile monetary system and distorted financial markets. Also, a U.S. hedge fund that specializes in volatility bets has quietly purchased more than $600 million in cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, with plans to bring its holdings of Bitcoin and Ethereum to $1 billion by 2021. Eric Peters, CEO of One River Asset Management, foresees a generational allocation to crypto assets, saying, quote, COVID-19 provided the ultimate catalyst for that transition. This is the most interesting macro trade I've seen in my career. On Wednesday, on-chain Bitcoin analyst Willy Woo tweeted that based on his charts, $100,000 for the Bitcoin price is, quote, a ridiculously low target at the current trajectory. Woo said he views $55,000 Bitcoin as the next landmark, which would turn the cryptocurrency into a $1 trillion macro asset. Next headline, Coinbase takes first step toward IPO. After reports this summer that it planned to go public, Coinbase filed a draft Form S-1 to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the first step to having an initial public offering. If it's approved, Coinbase will become the first crypto company to go public, a huge milestone for the industry. This week, the company also welcomed a new board member, Kelly Kramer, who was previously Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at Cisco. She will chair the Audit and Compliance Committee. Also, Mark Andreessen, co-founder and general partner at Andreessen Horowitz, will take a more active role on the Coinbase board, transitioning from board member to board director. Next headline, Ethereum touches new yearly high as CME Group announces futures. CME Group plans to list Ethereum futures in February, pending regulatory approval. CME's announcement comes as Ethereum reaches its highest price since May of 2018, briefly hitting $672 on Thursday. CME, which has previously said it was focusing solely on Bitcoin futures, seems to have had a change of heart due to the growth of its futures and options market. Next headline, Paxos pulls in $142 million to expand services. The day after Bitcoin surpassed $20,000, Paxos announced a $142 million Series C investment, led by Declaration Partners, an investment advisor to the family office of billionaire David Rubenstein of the Carlyle Group. Other prominent investors include PayPal Ventures. With a total of $240 million in venture funding, Paxos is now one of the highest funded firms in crypto, though the current valuation was not disclosed. The company plans to use the investment to develop new products for institutional clients and entice Wall Street to use its settlement and crypto products. Next headline, President Trump is considering clemency for Ross Ulbricht. The Daily Beast reports President Trump is considering giving clemency to Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht, who is serving life in prison without the possibility of parole for computer fraud, money laundering, and drug charges tied to his role as founder and administrator of the first online drug market. Sources tell the Daily Beast that the president has, quote, privately expressed some sympathy for Ulbricht's situation, and some prominent Republican Party figures have said that Ulbricht's sentencing was unjust. Next headline, can crypto mining in the U.S. take off? A Fortune story by Jeff Roberts reports that U.S. companies are attempting to challenge China's dominance in cryptocurrency mining. For Bitcoin, 65% of the hash rate comes from China, while the U.S. is in second place at 7%. The startup Core Scientific raised $23 million this week for mining operations in Georgia, North Carolina, and Kentucky. Its investor, digital currency group subsidiary Foundry, plans to spend $100 million on mining ventures. Meanwhile, Crusoe Energy, Great American Mining, and upstream data are using energy waste from oil and gas activities to run crypto miners. However, these startups have to counter bad impressions left by a previous wave of Bitcoin miners who descended on small communities with cheap energy and promising jobs, only to pack up without a trace. Next headline. Nexus Mutual CEO hacked for $8 million. $8 million in NXM tokens were stolen from the personal wallet of Hugh Karp, CEO of DeFi insurer Nexus Mutual. The attacker is a Nexus Mutual member, but the project tweeted that the mutual itself is not impacted. The pool of funds and all systems are safe. The attacker gained remote access to Karp's computer, then tricked Karp into signing a transaction that transferred funds to the attacker's address. The hacker has since been attempting to convert the funds into Bitcoin and has cashed out at least half the stolen funds. Time for fun bits. A $200,000 Bitcoin sushi dinner. In 2013, Kashmir Hill, then a reporter for Forbes, tried living on Bitcoin for 1 week as an experiment. Her week of transacting only in Bitcoin proved difficult. When she decided to finish off with a sushi blowout at San Francisco restaurant Sake Zone, one of the few eateries accepting Bitcoin, her online invitation to a few enthusiasts turned into dozens of attendees. Still, Sake Zone owner Young Chen graciously accepted the $1,000 payment in 10 BTC. Now, 8 years later, for the New York Times, where she is now a reporter, Kashmir checked back in with Young, who said, quote, "I sold some. I feel so bad. Now I just keep it. I just put it there like stock and wait. The Bitcoin has become one of the major saving assets in my portfolio. It's a lot. It's close to like $500,000 in my account." Next headline, quizzes. For some reason, this was the week of crypto quizzes, with the first one being kicked off by Larry Cermak, the director of research at the blog, who was looking for an intern. Along the way, he found a lot of already highly accomplished people in the space who would make fine interns. And this also inspired Nick Carter of Castle Island Ventures to make his own quiz, which is a Bitcoin-themed one. And then finally, Frank Chaparro of the blog also created a quiz for crypto and business journalists. I have to confess, Frank's is the only one I've taken so far. I've had a very, very busy few weeks, but I was happy to score at the 90th percentile. Enjoy testing your crypto knowledge. Thanks for tuning in. To learn more about Beeple, or Mike Winkleman, Nifty Gateway, and digital art, be sure to check out the links in the show notes of this episode. Don't forget, we are now on YouTube. Subscribe to the Unchained Podcast YouTube channel today. Unconfirmed is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Anthony Yoon, Daniel Ness, Bossy Baker, Shashank, Josh Durham, and the team at CLK Transcription. Thanks for listening.